Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you everyone for subscribing. And those who are new on my channel, please subscribe my channel and click on a bell icon so you will get all the new update videos of economics. So let's start our today's topic, that is law of demand. So what is law of demand and who introduced the concept of law of demand, that we are going to do. So the concept of law of demand first time introduced by Alfred Marshall. The concept of law of demand first time introduced by Alfred Marshall in his book The Principle of Economics, which published in 1890s. Now what is law of demand? It means that statement of law of demand. So the law of demand means other thing remaining the same, increase in a price leads to fall in demand and vice versa. Now what are other thing? Other thing means income, population, taste, preferences, habits. Afterward, we can say customs, tradition. This all thing will remain constant. We can also use the word ceteris paribus. So other thing remain the constant. Increase in price leads to fall in demand. It means that Alfred Marshall kept other thing constant and he has shown just relationship between price and demand. So according to Alfred Marshall, in law of demand, when price rise demand fall and price fall demand rise. Next is, so we can understand this thing with the help of a formula, or we can say arrows. You can see in a video that when price is high, that time demand is less, and when price is less, that time demand is high. It means that there is an inverse, opposite and indirect and negative relationship between price and demand. Next, what are the relation we can say? See, the price and demand both are inversely related to each other. On place of inverse, we can use word negative, afterward indirect and opposite. So there is a indirect, positive, opposite and inverse relationship in a law of demand between price and demand. And formula wise, we can present it as Qx equal function of Px. Qx means quantity demanded of commodity X, and F means function, and Px means price of commodity. So here quantity demanded of commodity is a function of price of commodity. See, as we know very well, there are two type of variable, dependent variable and independent variable. Dependent variable change as per the changes take place in an independent variable. So in the law of demand, demand increase and decrease as per the change in a price. So Qx, it means that quantity demanded for product X, that is a dependent variable, and Px, that is the price of product, that is the independent variable. Next is schedule. The law of demand we understand with the help of schedule. You can see in a schedule, on one hand side they have given price of unit, that is rupees 50, 40, 30, 20 and 10, and second hand side they have given quantity demanded, that is unit 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You can see in a schedule, when price of the product is 50 rupees, that time consumer demand only 1 unit, and when price of product became 40, he demand 2 unit. When price of product became 30, he demand 3 unit. 20, then he demand 4 unit. 10, then he demand 5 unit. So it means that when prices is high, that time for a consumer demand only 1 unit, and when prices is less, that time consumer demand 5 unit. It means that at higher price the demand is less, and at lower price the demand is high. So from the schedule we can understand, at rupees 50 the quantity demanded is 1 unit, and at rupees 10 the quantity demand is 5 rupees. So it means that there is a inverse relationship which is explained in a law of demand. So that we understand with the help of diagram. In the diagram, there is a y-axis and x-axis. Now, y-axis represent price and x-axis represent quantity demanded. So price we will write on y-axis, that is 50, 40, 30, 20 and 10, and quantity demand will write on a x-axis, that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can see in the diagram, when price is 50, that time we demand 1. When price is 40, then consumer demand 2 units. When price is 30, consumer demand 3 unit. When price is 20, consumer demand 4 unit. And when price is 10, consumer demand 5 unit. It means that there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. So that demand curve DD is a demand curve which is a downward sloping from left to right. So why demand curve is sloping downward from left to right? Because price and quantity demanded have a inverse and indirect relationship. Next is assumption. As we know very well, in economics each and every theory and model is a depend upon some assumption. So same here, law of demand is a based on some assumption. Assumption number 1 is no change in income. According to law of demand, the consumer income should be constant, otherwise if his income will increase, then even though the prices are high, then he can demand more. So law of demand is not applicable, so that there should no change in a income. Next is no change in the prices of related goods. Now what are related goods? There are two types of related goods: substitute goods and complementary good. Substitute goods means the goods which are substitute each other, like a tea and coffee, and complementary goods which are complementary each other, like a car and petrol. So according to law of demand, there should be no change in the prices of related good. For example, suppose in substitute goods, if the price of tea will increase, then people have other option, they will demand more coffee. So your law of demand is not applicable. Why? Because according to law of demand, अगर एक प्रोडक्ट का प्राइस बढ़ता है तो उसी प्रोडक्ट का डिमांड कम होता है. बट इन अ सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स, इफ प्राइस ऑफ टी इंक्रीज, देन डिमांड ऑफ कॉफी इज इंक्रीजिंग. So there is a law of demand is not applicable. Next is complementary good. In complementary goods, when one product price increase, then another product price a demand decrease. For example, suppose the prices of petrol has increased, that time the demand of car has decreased. So again law of demand is not applicable. So as per the law of demand, there should be no change in the prices of related goods. Next is no change in the size of population. The size of population should be constant, otherwise law of demand is not applicable. For example, suppose in our country the population of teenagers will increase, then automatically the demand of teenagers product will be high. So even though the prices of teenagers product will be high, but they will demand. For example, teenagers means college student, we can say. So college student demanding junk food, cloth, देन कॉस्मेटिक मटेरियल, बैग, मोबाइल एक्सेट्रा. तो अगर उनकी पॉपुलेशन बढ़ गई है तो भले ही उनके प्रोडक्ट कितने भी महंगे मिले, बट उनका डिमांड बढ़ेगा. सो हियर लॉ ऑफ डिमांड इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल. सो देयर शुड बी नो चेंज इन अ साइज ऑफ पॉपुलेशन. नेक्स्ट इज no change in a taste and habit. The consumer taste and habit should be remain constant, otherwise even though the price will increase, but he will demand. For example, suppose your taste has increased in a junk food, so even though junk food are costly, but you will demand. Next is habit. Suppose your habit has increased of smoking and drinking, so even though cigarette and liquor is costly, but you will demand. So law of demand is not applicable. So according to law of demand, there should be no change in the taste and habit of the consumer. Next is no change in expectation about the future prices. Consumer should not be make changes in expectation about future prices. If he will expect in the future the prices of product is going to be fall, then what will happen? He will demand less today, even though the prices are less at present. And if we'll expect in a future the prices of product will be high, then even though he is getting प्रोडक्ट एट हाई प्राइस टुडे, बट ही विल डिमांड. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर कोई कंज्यूमर ये अज्यूम करता है कि फ्यूचर में कांदे के प्राइस बहुत कम हो जाएंगे, तो भले ही उसको अभी सस्ते में मिल रहा है बट वो कम डिमांड करेगा, तो लॉ ऑफ डिमांड एप्लीकेबल नहीं है। नेक्स्ट, अगर वो एक्सपेक्टेशन ये करे कि फ्यूचर में कांदे की प्राइस बहुत बढ़ जाएगी, तो अभी उसको कांदे बहुत महंगे मिल रहे फिर भी वो खरीदेगा। सो अगेन लॉ ऑफ डिमांड इज़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल। सो देयर शुड बी नो चेंज इन एक्सपेक्टेशन अबाउट द फ्यूचर प्राइसेस। नेक्स्ट इज no change in a government policy. There should be no change in a government policy. Which policy made by government, such as taxation, expenditure, budgetary, etc. So there should be no change in a government policy. For example, if government increase income tax on a consumer, then what will happen? Consumer will remain less disposable income. So if income is less, then even though the product prices are less in the market, but they cannot demand, because most of money they have given to government in a form of taxes. So there should be no change in a government policies. Next is no change in a natural condition. There should be no change in a natural condition, such as there should be no earthquake, tsunami and corona, etc. So if suppose our nature is suffering from any calamities, for example corona, so even though the prices of product is less, but we cannot demand. As we know very well, in period of corona many people are not having job, many of them are jobless. So due to the less price also they are not able to demand. सो यहाँ पर नेचुरल कंडीशन की वजह से लोगों के पास पैसे ही नहीं है, तो भले ही मार्केट में कितना भी प्राइस कम हो बट वो डिमांड नहीं कर सकते. सो अगेन लॉ ऑफ डिमांड इज़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल. सो नेचुरल कंडीशन शुड बी रिमेन कांस्टेंट. नेक्स्ट इज no change in technology. The technology should be remain constant, otherwise if improved technology will be used by supplier, then what will happen? They will supply more and more and they will also increase the prices, and at higher price they cannot demand. And we can say if the supply will increase, but if people are not having money then they cannot demand the product. So there should be no change in a technology. So these are the assumption which should follow to make law of demand applicable in the economy. Next is exception. Exception means where law of demand is not applicable. In such cases law of demand is not applicable. So what are these cases that we are going to do? So the number one case is Giffen goods. The concept of Giffen goods first time introduced by Sir Robert Giffen. Giffen goods are special type of inferior goods. For example, meat, potato, bread, these are the Giffen goods. So according to Sir Robert Giffen, in England when prices of bread has decreased, that time people decrease the purchase of bread, क्योंकि उनको ऐसा लगा कि अगर ब्रेड सस्ते में मिल रहा है इसका मतलब वो ख़राब हो गया है. सो जिफेन गुड्स में क्या होता है कि जब भी प्राइस कम होता है तो लोग कम डिमांड करते. सो इन केस ऑफ जिफेन गुड लॉ ऑफ डिमांड इज़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल. नेक्स्ट इज प्रेस्टीज गुड्स. प्रेस्टीज गुड्स मीन्स द गुड्स विच इंक्रीज योर स्टेटस एंड योर स्नोब अपील इन द सोसाइटी. स्नोब अपील मतलब आपका स्टेटस मेंटेन करे या ऐसे दिखाए कि आप अमीर हो. So in a case of prestige goods, the law of demand is not applicable, because in case of prestige good, people are always purchase the goods which will increase their status in the society. So वो उसके लिए उनको बहुत सारी महंगी चीज़ें खरीदनी पड़ेगी. So in a case of prestige good, people not think about prices. जैसे कि अगर आपको अपना स्टेटस मेंटेन करना है सोसाइटी में तो आपको बहुत सारी महंगी चीज़ें खरीदनी पड़ेगी. सो इवन दो द प्राइसेस विल बी हाई बट यू विल डिमांड. सो अगर किसी को प्रेस्टीज गुड्स या स्नोब अपील या सोसाइटी में अपना स्टेटस मेंटेन करना है तो वो हमेशा हाई प्राइस वाले प्रोडक्ट को ही डिमांड करेंगे. सो इन केस ऑफ प्रेस्टीज गुड लॉ ऑफ डिमांड इज़ नॉट एप्लीकेबल. नेक्स्ट इज प्राइस इल्यूजन एंड कंज्यूमर साइकोलॉजिकल बायस. Price illusion and consumer psychological bias means many people have a psychological bias that higher price means higher quality and lower price means lower quality. So many customers they demand the product just because the product have a higher price, and many consumers they ignore the product just because the product have a lower price. So बहुत सारे consumer इसलिए product खरीदते हैं कि product का higher price है, because according to them higher price means higher quality, and lower price means lower quality. So if consumer have this type of mentality, that time law of demand is not applicable in that cases. Next is demonstration effect. Demonstration effect means we like to imitate other life. मतलब हमें दूसरों की तरह जीना, दूसरों की तरह कॉपी करना अच्छा लगता है. So suppose if we have a demonstration effect habit, like if my neighbor brought a LCD LED, if my neighbor brought a washing machine, if my neighbor brought a car, तो मुझे भी वो चाहिए. So even though I am not having money, even though the product is very costly, but I will demand that product. So for a demonstration effect also, the people demand the product which have a higher prices. So in that case, the law of demand is not applicable. Next is habitual goods. In case of habitual goods, some people having habit of having cigarette, then liquor, drugs, and etc. So in that case, law of demand is not applicable. How? Suppose Mr. A having a habit of smoking, drinking, having drugs and all. So even though the prices of all the product will be high, but he will demand because उसको उसका habit है. The best example is in Corona. Government has banned many government has closed many liquor shop. But as government announced that liquor shop can be open, तो बहुत सारे लोग कोरोना का डर छोड़ के they were standing in a line, they were buying 10 20 bottle together even though the prices were double. So जिनकी हैबिट होती है कुछ कमोडिटी की, भले ही उनकी कितनी भी प्राइस हाई हो जाए, बट दे विल डिमांड दैट प्रोडक्ट एनी हाउ. सो इन दैट केस ऑल्सो लॉ ऑफ डिमांड इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल. नेक्स्ट इज इग्नोरेंस. Okay, many people are ignorant about the market situation. They are not aware about the changes in a price. They are not aware about what is going on in a market. So due to the incomplete information about the market, sometimes they demand the product who's having higher price. And due to the lack of knowledge, they are not aware कि ये प्रोडक्ट का इतना प्राइस नहीं, इसका प्राइस कम है हो सकता है, या इसका प्राइस कम चल रहा है. बट ड्यू टू द इग्नोरेंस sometimes they demand the product which having the higher price. So friends, I hope so my video will help you to clear your doubt about the law of demand, and it's my humble request to each and everyone, please like, share and subscribe my video and write in a comment box how my videos are helping to clear your doubt about the economics topic. Thank you so much. God bless you. Be happy. Bye bye.